And Marina Mabrey is looking like, I know this didn't just happen to me. And yes, M. Mabrey, it did, because sometimes the grass isn't always green. Have you ever witnessed someone's bad karma hit them like a fast break dunk in the face? Well, Marina Mab is living that reality right now, and it's hilarious. This is the same Marina who laughed when Dee Carrington poked Caitlin Clark in the eye like it was some playground prank. That arrogant GR. Well, it's not looking pretty now. Trails by 4 is now following Marina Ma. I recall that she was making fun of Depop Caitlin Clark when she was doing this. Fast forward to the present, when Clark is now the face of the WNBA, and Marina is stranded on an island, waving her arms like a desperate hitchhiker attempting to flee Connecticut. The Sun disintegrating more quickly than Angel Reese's jumper Indiana Fever, who is assembling a team that is beginning to resemble the next dynasty. Marina, however, is learning the hard way that when you mess with basketball greatness, karma will put you in your place. I am sitting here holding the bag. I wanted to trade from the Chicago Sky to the Connecticut Sun because I stated that I wanted to be on a championship-style team, and that's exactly what I wanted. However, now that we see this, how did Marina go from sidekick giggles to WNBA afterthought? And what does this spectacular downfall tell us about Caitlin Clark's hold on the league's future? Get ready for a tale of instant karma. Are you ready? May is asking for a trade from the... It all began with that smirk, the famous courtside laugh, when Carrington poked Caitlin Clark in the eye like a middle school bully. Marina pretended that she was at a comedy show and wasn't watching a cheap shot against the WNBA's face when you went and kind of swatted at Kate. Did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, could you talk about what happened on that play? I simply don't even know why I would intend to hit her. Basketball fans, don't forget that moment when stuck clips flooded social media and Clark shook it off with the composure of a veteran. Marina leaned into the pettiness, which is a big mistake because karma has a crossover quicker than Kelsey Mitchell did. You and Marina kind of laughed about it afterwards. I didn't even know I hit her, though, because I was actually trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. Obviously, that's not even like the kind of player I am. Later on in the game, they caught you guys laughing about it. No, I just told you that I didn't know I hit her, so I can't laugh about some of the things that happened with the increase. Word got out that Marina was a toxic chemistry killer, and the locker room was tense. It wasn't difficult to link some of that tension to her teams throughout the league. Keep in mind that nobody wants drama when they're trying to win championships. The Sun is set in Cassville, Connecticut, and the Connecticut Sun has never been more. In a league where rosters are limited and contracts are valuable, being labeled a problem is the quickest way to see your career put on hold permanently. Front offices talk, coaches compare notes, especially when you're already on your fourth team. Marina Mabrey is hilarious. I'm sorry, this is her fourth team again. Coach being Stephanie White ever since everyone and their mama jumped ship. I said it's over with. They've lost all their talent. Now, guys, this is breaking news. She used to be at Dallas Wing, Los Angeles Park, and Chicago Sky. And now that she's a Connecticut native, she's like, you know what? I looked around. I remember in the fresh air, Will Smith came home and there was no furniture and no people around. Now Marina's left refreshing her phone like it's her job, wondering why no one is trading for her DM empty. Suddenly that laugh doesn't sound so sweet, Marina. This is what Marina Ma said when she traveled to Connecticut, by the way. Being a member of a team like this that is so disciplined with the championship mindset. I haven't been a part of that yet. But things have changed. Basketball fans have made a meme out of the video of her laughing, and her social media posts are inundated with comments like, "How's free agency treating you?" What was once a cocky grin has become a symbol of a player who fumbled her own bag. And Marina Mabrey was left holding the bag because, as you know, she was on that team and wanted to be there. A few months later, the head coach was gone again, and he was gone. All 5 of your starters are gone, including your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. However, the head coach, who was about to win a championship as a head coach, is no longer there, and Caitlin Clark's jersey is flying off the shelves as Fever season ticket sales break records. Marina is watching from the sidelines, realizing too late that laughing at greatness might be the biggest mistake of her career. The Connecticut Sun believed they could play. The tough team role is always gritty, physical, and full of bark and occasionally a little bite, but now that bark is sounding more like a desperate whimper, and the so-called bite is, well, mostly just the team biting the dust. I'm trying to think of teams that can afford her, like salary cap-wise, because she is on a $200K contract. It's not a max, but it's a $200K contract. Let's face it, the Suns' locker room is looking as chaotic as the Las Vegas Aces. The chemistry's non-existent, and the vibes are toxic. Helped bring the entire team down. The pettiness she promoted became the team's brand, and rather than concentrating on winning basketball, the Sun became more well-known for their extracurricular activities, which included fouling star rookies, creating drama, and posting cryptic tweets like teenagers. Now, everyone is leaving, which is terrible for Marina May, even though she wanted to leave. Her practice facility deteriorated, and all of her team's best players, I was going to say Marina happened, Carrington happened. The team became so preoccupied with trying to make Caitlin Clark and chase headlines that the WNBA is changing teams, like the Fever are building for the future around stars like Clark. The Liberty and Lynx are stacking talent. Even the Aces, love them or hate them, still have 4 Olympians on the roster, and they forgot how to hoop. Meanwhile, Clark was busy selling out arenas and climbing MVP ladders, and the Sun were busy creating highlight reels for all the wrong reasons. The problem is that this meltdown isn't just embarrassing, it's franchise altering. Take a look at the women on the left side of my... Look closely at them because they are no longer with the Connecticut Suns in the WNBA. Veronica Burton isn't in this picture, but that's player number 6. Fans have also noticed that ticket sales are down, jerseys are collecting dust, and while Clark's fans swarm arenas and click frantically on Fever merchandise, Sun fans are beginning to question whether there will even be a team that plays next year. The truth is that the Suns tried to bully their way to success, but in this new WNBA, it's Cheryl Swoopes, a former WNBA trailblazer who is now more like the league's Facebook aunt, dropping cold takes that no one asked for and getting roasted in the comments. People in the Fever were like, y'all, that's not my point. There's a lot of other going on that players are saying. This ain't where I want. Teams that build around championship-winning stars like Clark wanted to be the enforcers, but instead they became the target of laughter. There are a lot of new things going on, so you have players who are important to this Indiana Fever team who say, I don't want to be this where I want to be. Swoopes made it clear early on that she wasn't buying into the Caitlin Clark hype, questioning the attention Clark was receiving, suggesting that other players should be given more attention, and taking advantage of every chance to minimize the Fever star rookie. However, as Clark's performance became more and more apparent, Swoopes didn't change. Instead, she doubled down. What kinds of things do you feel I'm not in the locker? I'm talking about more social media, and it's a turn. It's really a turn of the tides, okay? So everyone saw it at the beginning of the year, and fans noticed that Swoopes' take became a trend of tweets. Younger fans who grew up hearing Swoopes' name with respect began to wonder if she still attended the games. That's the thing. Respect is earned, but it's not guaranteed forever. You can't coast on past glory while aiming at the league's future WNBA MVPs. It's not that Swoopes had to worship Clark. Many legends offer candid criticism, but there's a line between analysis and personal bias, and Swoopes crossed it a long time ago. Now, every game-winning shot made by Clark feels like another nail in the coffin of her credibility because, let's face it, Caitlin Clark is the future, and Cheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before even acknowledging that Caitlin is dominant. Cheryl Swoopes, if you see her, talked a lot about the Indiana Fever and the locker room climate a few months back. People wanted to leave and not play there. Then Step White came in and said, okay, hold on, let me go to Indeed. While Mabe and the Connecticut Sun fade into obscurity, Caitlin Clark is doing what she does best, taking over the WNBA and making it look easy whenever the critics try to interfere. She did this by getting some free agents to come in here who wanted to play and were successful, seasoned veterans. Clark isn't just putting up points, she's rewriting the record books with deep threes that make defenders question their life choices. No-look passes that have teammates cutting harder than ever because they know she'll find them. She's not just a scorer, she's a system, and defenses build game plans around her, and she still cooks them. Are you in a position where you can add some pieces? Yes, we are, and we're definitely in a position. Her three-point shooting range is ridiculous. She'll pull up from the logo with a hand in her face and drain it like it's a free throw. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull are playing well with her because they know that every cut and sprint down the floor could result in a highlight reel from Clark, the MVP talk. It's not early hype anymore. Real fans and coaches know it. And even the same veterans who ignored her last season are beginning to come around because when someone is this good, you can't fake respect forever. Professional like Sydney Colson, as well as veterinarians like Danana Bonner and Kelsey Mitchell, as well as Cece, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi. However, Clark's impact goes far beyond the box office. Since her arrival, the Indiana Fever have transformed from a losing franchise into the team that everyone is watching. Ticket sales are skyrocketing. Prime time games are taking place during prime time. WNBA ratings are skyrocketing, and no one on the network pays attention when Clark takes the court. Even WNBA legends have taken notice. Game-changing impact. New teammate Danana Bonner, a veteran champion, respects what Clark is building in Indiana. The message is clear. Clark is not just the future, she is the present. Also, Natasha Howard's addition adds toughness and championship experience. Kelsey Mitchell's return solidifies their backcourt as one of the best in the league. Sophie Cunningham's return solidifies their backcourt. And Sydney Coulson's return solidifies their backcourt. And Sydney Coulson's arrival adds toughness, grit, and fun off the bench. As a result, the Indiana Fever are officially. Something new for us in free agency today is Ms. Danana Bonner, the WNBA All-Star and WNBA champion next time. A veteran in this game can pretty much do it all. And if I go on, we have a new starting five. Caitlin at number 1, Kelsey at number 2, Danana at number 3, Natasha Howard at number 4, and Aaliyah Boston at number 5. This isn't luck, it's what happens when you're that good. And for players like Ma, who thought their petty antics could overshadow Clark's talent, reality is setting in greatness every time. Clark didn't just survive the hate, she turned it into fuel. And now she's